Hi, Ed here from keywordspeopleuse.com, and I've got an exclusive time-limited offer for you. If you book a product demo with Keywords People Use, I'll give you a free 7-day trial of our standard plan, which allows you access to our new content optimization tool. This tool hooks into your Google Search Console data so we can find all the keywords you're ranking for and what pages are ranking. We then crawl your site content and use advanced machine learning techniques like embeddings and cosine similarity to find you content optimization opportunities that will quickly boost your impressions and clicks from Google. This new feature in Keywords People Use is already showing results for people using it. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a 7-day free trial. Just go to keywordspeopleuse.com/demo to book your slot. That's keywordspeopleuse.com/demo. You'll find the link in the show notes of this episode. Hello and welcome to SEO is Not That Hard. I'm your host Ed Dawson, the founder of the SEO intelligence platform keywordspeopleuse.com, where we help you discover the questions people ask online and then how to optimize your content to build traffic and authority. I've been in SEO and online marketing for over 20 years, and I'm here to share the wealth of knowledge, hints and tips I've amassed over that time. Hello and welcome back to a new episode here of SEO is Not That Hard. It's me here, Ed Dawson, as always. And yeah, I just thought I would record a new episode. I've had a few messages from people saying while they're enjoying the best ofs, they always just want to know when something new's coming out. And I'm not back full time. I'm only recently back from a family holiday in Iceland, which, if you've never been to Iceland, I do recommend it. It's an incredibly different place. You'll never go anywhere like it, especially if you've got any kind of interest in geology or geography. We saw glaciers, we saw volcanoes, we saw lava flows, we saw, huge mountains, incredible scenery. Not a cheap place to go, I'll admit, but we had a really great time. And it's been fantastic doing things like that. We've been really busy on the farm. We've got haymaking coming up if the weather stays right in the next week or two. We should be making hay, which is obviously a big important event here on the farm to get that harvest in. So I'm still not going to be back full time for a little while. But there's so much been going on. There's so much chatter in the SEO industry at the moment about the changes in the online search world that have come about with the rise of the large language models like ChatGPT, Claude and others. And as well as things like Google putting AI overviews and AI mode into search. And it's been I've been asking myself the question through all of this: what are the SEO fundamentals that still hold and are still important to follow given all this? Now, my personal experience so far through all this is that sites that do something that an LLM or an AI mode or anything like that cannot do, which is sell and fulfill a product. If someone wants to buy something, e-commerce, you still got to have a warehouse, you still got to have the products, you still got to have these things. If you are selling a product to end users, people are still getting their business. Still, you might be getting less traffic, but it doesn't matter in terms of people are still making their sales. Businesses are still sustaining, growing. And likewise, if you're providing information that is not easily found within these large language models, like things like broadband.co.uk, where there are affiliate sites which have these unique databases where they synthesize information together, join desperate parts of information, so like broadband availability data in an area, broadband providers latest deals, all these kind of things that the LLMs and Google have never been able to keep up with. They're still doing well. They're still making income. They're still making trade. It's all good. Some sites, yes, have gone, like I said just before, if you're relying on display advertising to cover basic facts, websites that might have worked well 4 or 5 years ago, that is kind of thing as a model that is gone. Okay. But while we in the industry all have a keen interest in search and keeping up to date with the latest things, as using the AI search LLMs a lot more than we would otherwise, there are still huge swathes. The vast majority of the populations worldwide is still accustomed to using search in the traditional way, and lots of stuff is still going to go through that. It's definitely not dead. But the key thing I keep asking myself is, what of the age-old advice is still relevant? And I am actually finding more and more that old advice is still relevant. So let's think about why. And what are these SEO fundamentals that still hold true and arguably are even more important in the age of AI search. So first of all, that is high quality, user-centric content. I mean, this has always been important, but now it's absolutely key. AI models, they need high quality, comprehensive and well-structured data to learn from and to synthesize their answer for AI overviews. In the old days, people would write 1,000-word articles targeting a specific keyword. That was, what people would have done. But what it is now, and what I've always pushed for, if you've listened to me long enough, you will know that I always talk about creating content that comprehensively covers a topic and anticipates those follow-up questions and provides unique insights, data, perspectives. You're not just writing for a user to read, you are writing to be the definitive source of material that a user would cite, as in they will give you a link. This is how you build links, by creating natural great content, and would also the kind of stuff that AI will cite. So your goal is to answer the question behind the question. As I always say, build content around people's questions. That's why we built Keyword People Use, to find the questions people ask about a topic. It's important. It's hugely important. So, in fact, it's even more important. The thing I would say, if you're taking action on this, is to focus on depth and originality. Don't just list 5 tips or whatever. Explain the why behind each of your answers. Provide real examples. Include data. Include expert quotes. Be that natural source. Be the topical authority. Secondly, EEAT, which I've not heard EEAT mentioned so much recently, but that experience, expertise, authoritativeness and trustworthiness. Now, these are the things that Google have talked about for a long time. It's in all their Google guidelines for search raters, and it is still an important concept. As Google and the other LLMs generate answers, that they're under real pressure to have, to avoid misinformation. They know that if they start giving bad advice, it's the kind of thing that generates them bad press, and they really, really want to try and avoid misinformation, which means they're going to favour sources that demonstrate strong signals of experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So this is something really, really, really key. So this is. I mean, I'm not going to cover how to do EEAT and just this. Go look back, listen to previous podcasts, especially the ones where we talk about search rater guidelines. Those are the kind of things you've got to follow, which is basically being, citing your sources, following the guidelines in the search rater documents that suggest what the kind of things that trustworthy sites will do. Pay attention to the reviews that you get from places like Trustpilot, especially if you're selling people stuff. EAT matters because they only want to cite sources that they think are going to be trustworthy. You still need, and this is the third point, you still need strong technical SEO foundations. If an AI crawler or a crawler from any kind of system cannot find your content, crawl it, render it and understand it, then however good your content is, it's useless. If your kind of technical plumbing is broken, you need to make sure your site is still crawlable, it's still fast. You need to have structured data. There is, structured data is a bit of a question mark at the moment about whether it really is important for LLMs or not, but Google use it, so put it in anyway. LLMs, if they don't use it now, probably will in the future. Make it easy for the robots to parse and structure and understand your data. This matters just as much as before. Okay, so even if you're getting less visitors to your site, doesn't matter. You want the bots to be able to reach, understand, crawl, and get all around your site in a way where a strong technical SEO foundation will allow. So all those things still count. Fourth, I want to mention is semantic SEO and topical authority, and I kind of covered it in point 1. But this is the natural evolution of keyword research. Large language models, and even Google now, they think in terms of topics and entities, not just strings of keywords. Okay, building topical authority means demonstrating that deep expertise across a whole subject area, not just ranking for 1 or 2 head terms. So it used to be, in the old days, target a list of related keywords, start with the highest volume, work your way down. That's just doesn't cut it anymore. now you need to be building those content clusters or hubs that cover topics from every angle. You want to be seen to as the go-to resource for everything related to your core subject. These are the sites that the LLMs will cite. These are the sites the LLMs will recommend. These are the sites that do well in Google, always have done, and are even more so nowadays. So what you need to be doing is thinking in topics. Everyone always uses running shoes as the example, but if you're selling running shoes, you need content not just to be the best running shoes, but also things on marathon training plans, injury prevention, shoe care, all sorts of things around the topic of running, not just about shoes. And you need to get your internal linking sorted to show the relationships between these concepts, because these are all the kind of things that will build you up as that authority, as that topical authority, which means you'll get covered in all the right places you want to be. Fifth point, I'm going to call this authority signals. Really, it's backlinks and mentions, but it used to be just backlinks, okay? A vote of confidence. The more good quality related backlinks you've got to your site, generally the better you'll have done in search. Now, there's lots of caveats to that. Go listen to my other podcasts on link building and the things to avoid, because you can get yourself in trouble with link building. But essentially, yes, these things matter. They matter to Google still. The large language models are buying and investing in link graph information as well now. That's proven. So being linked to and just mentioned, mentions are now working as well as links are, especially with the LLMs. If they see you mentioned a lot, they see you coming up, your website being mentioned alongside the topic area that they are looking at. They will relate you together. This is how the LLMs work. They relate words and concepts and topics together. So these backlinks and mentions are important as ever. It's not that they weren't important before, but they're as important as ever. So these things still count, okay? So with this, I've got loads of podcasts on different link building techniques like digital PR, creating link with the assets, all sorts of things, okay? Go back, listen to the back catalogue on links. You'll get loads of ideas on what to do with this. So going back through all the things we've talked about, these are all the things that I've been talking about and other SEOs have been talking about for years and years and years and years. Okay, there is slightly more emphasis in some areas than others than there has been previously. Like I think topical authority is getting more important, but that topical authority now used to be topical authority to generate huge amounts of traffic. And that still will work in some cases. But now I think that topical authority is less about generating large amounts of traffic, but more about demonstrating your authority. And that authority is what is important to LLMs, who will cite you. And that citation, when people are doing their research in the LLMs, might not bring you lots of traffic initially, but it will set you up to be the resource that people will come to when they need to take the next step. If they're looking to purchase something, that's when they'll step out of the LLM. If they need to go further and do more research than just getting an initial answer from the LLM, that's when they'll come to you. So it's important to be there, but for slightly different reasons than before. And again, with the backlinks, used to drive lots of traffic. Now might not drive you so much traffic if people are transferring over to the LLMs, but it will rise you up and bring you into people's attention in the LLMs. So all these things still count. So would I be rushing and changing and doing anything differently? No. Have I done anything differently? No. I've just carried on as I always have done, and it's still working fine for me so far. Things can change. Okay, things can change, and when they do, you'll be the first to hear about it from me. But right now, I still see the fundamentals as important. So still listen to the fundamentals, still follow the fundamentals, still apply the fundamentals. They are the key to getting to where you want to be. Okay, so that's it from me today. I will likely be back more full-time, I think, in the early autumn. As I mentioned earlier, we've got lots of stuff to do on the farm, haymaking in particular. Then I'm due to go away again later this month to Scotland for a period of time. So I'm not going to have the time to record many more new full-time new podcasts. But if anything does come up, anything important, I will be here. Do not fear. And yeah, in the meantime, please do carry on enjoying the best of, because as I say, these fundamentals, they still count, and it's good to refresh on them. So until next time, keep optimizing, stay curious, and remember, SEO is not that hard when you understand the basics. Thanks for listening. It means a lot to me. This is where I get to remind you where you can connect with me and my SEO tools and services. You can find links to all the links I mentioned here in the show notes. Just remember, with all these places where I use my name, the Ed is spelled with 2 Ds. You can find me on LinkedIn and Blue Sky. Just search for Ed Dawson on both. You can record a voice question to get answered on the podcast. The link is in the show notes. You can try our SEO intelligence platform, Keywords People Use, at keywordspeopleuse.com, where we can help you discover the questions and keywords people are asking online, post those questions and keywords into related groups so you know what content you need to build topical authority, and finally, connect your Google Search Console account for your sites so we can crawl and understand your actual content. Find what keywords you rank for and then help you optimize and continually refine your content with targeted, personalized advice to keep your traffic growing. If you're interested in learning more about me personally or looking for dedicated consulting advice, then visit www.eddawson.com. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of SEO is Not That Hard.